Hi, this is William Thayer, and I'm talking about the COVID crisis. In this particular video, which is part of a series, I'm talking about COVID and billionaires, American billionaires. Now, the COVID crisis, when I started doing this, started doing videos and trying to get something done, COVID cases were 500,000. Now we're at 690,000. The deaths were at 20,000. Now they're at 36,000. It's really time to get something done. I'm hoping that people will look at these videos and they will, uh, contact people that can really make things happen. In this particular case, billionaires. Now, I've had 5 other previous videos in the series. First one is testing versus treatment, and I advocate comprehensive testing. The reason for that is treatment is not going to stop the spread of COVID. Okay, it's not going to stop the spread, not until we get a vaccine. Okay, if you treat somebody that's sick, that's great, we want to do that, but it's not stopping the spread. What will stop the spread is to identify the people that are sick and isolate those people. That's about 2.2% of the population. Okay, how do we do this? We need a lot of test machines, like 1,000,000 or 2 test machines. I've gone over that, how we can do that and make those. And I give the title there, but I also give the link to these things because you have to scroll down about 50 pages before you'll find one of my videos. Third video was on COVID test sample production. By that I mean the test chemicals that go into the test. You have to put a swab from your nose in and maybe just saliva now. They've got a test where you can just spit saliva in a tube and have that tested. But you need the chemicals to do the test as well. And then I gave a really, I think it's a really important example of why we need comprehensive testing, why the U.S. Navy needs comprehensive testing. And that was the case of the USS Roosevelt, which was put out of action by this COVID virus. Okay, I hope the Navy has learned the lesson there and we have comprehensive testing available on all our other carriers. Finally, my last one was on COVID and reopening the U.S. state by state, starting with the states west of the Mississippi. So my outline of this video is reopening the U.S. state by state, okay, which is kind of review of what my last one was very briefly. And again, saying that comprehensive testing is going to make this faster. Okay, we can wait for the virus to die out. That's the passive approach. Okay, I don't advocate that. I advocate don't give this virus a chance. Clobber it on the head with comprehensive testing. And billionaires can make it happen. Now, billionaires, obviously, all these billionaires have made their money on their own. They know what to do. These are men of action, and that's what I'm hoping will happen as a result of this tape. Now, in my last video, I said, hey, let's look at the states west of the Mississippi. That's the blue line there, because they got fewer cases. It'll be easier to get these states back producing at 99% of their normal value. And I said, we'll start out with small states because we just have a few test machines. You know, these states require 5,000 test machines each, as Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Alaska, Hawaii. Pretty simple. That was what I was trying to do, and I went through the whole process by stages until I had every state west of the Mississippi back up and running at 99%. Now, I'm going to kind of look at the same thing with billionaires. This is a map of billionaires, where the billionaires live in the United States. The dark state like California has got the most billionaires. New York, they've got a lot. So does Texas. Okay, but I'm just going to basically concentrate on the states west of the Mississippi for the most part. The link down below lists the billionaires. Of course, that's always updated, but that's what. So if we go to one of the states that had a lot of cases on west of the Mississippi, it's the state of Washington, where they were the ones that were hurt first by this COVID coming in from China. And with their population, I figure with 30,000 test machines, you could test every single person in the state of Washington within 2 days. Okay, and you pretty well figure out who was sick and who was not, isolate the people that were sick, and the people that were healthy could get back to work. You need continual testing, but that would be the start. So what does it cost for 30,000 machines? Well, they cost 4,500 each. So for the state of Washington, that's 135 million, and I'd like to contribute, but I don't have that amount in my checking account. But these guys do. Amazon, Jeff Bezos, located in the state of Washington, 114 billion. I mean, he wouldn't even miss 135 million. Bill Gates, 106 billion. I mean, he's given money to people that need it in Africa. How about people in the state of Washington that need to get tested? This is so obvious. Bill Gates is interested in health. What could be more important to health than comprehensive testing, particularly in his state, the state of Washington? How about California? Okay, California, they need 150,000 test machines because they got 40 million people, but you can test everybody in 2 days. Again, what's 4,500 times 150,000? 675 million. Again, not my check account, but these guys have got it. And there's 100 billionaires in California. These guys could easily come up with. Larry Ellison, the brilliant guy that developed Oracle, the database company, worth 65 billion. Okay, how about Google? Okay, Larry Page, Sergey Brin, they each got 55 billion. I mean, they want to do good things, right? Do good things. Now, maybe more than don't do evil. How about do something good, like do some testing? They can make it happen in an instant. In an instant. This is not like going through the state legislature, going through the U.S. Congress where everything's delayed. These guys can make a decision in an instant. Elon Musk, okay, worth 10 to 40 billion. I'm just going by the Wikipedia numbers. Elon Musk is the only billionaire that I know that's actually done something with regard to the COVID crisis. He gave the state of New York 1,000 ventilators. Furthermore, he had his company Tesla. He had his engineers, brilliant guys. They came up with their own ventilator design in a week. Nobody asked them to do it. They did it. And this ventilator design is based upon 80% auto parts from the Tesla automobile. I mean, that's brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant thinking. So I think if somebody brought it up to Elon, somebody from SpaceX or Tesla is looking at this and can contact Elon and say, hey, Elon, state of California with 675 million could get, in fact, he could make these test machines. That's all you need for comprehensive testing. And, get some cooperation with the other billionaires up there in Silicon Valley. Texas, how about Texas? Well, they got a whole bunch of billionaires too. I'm just going to mention 3 of them. They need 120,000 test machines. Okay, times 4,500, 540 million. Again, that's a lot of money. Okay, but they got a lot of billionaires. Here's 3 of them. Okay, Michael Dell, okay, worth 10 to 40 billion, somewhere in there because of all his Dell computers, which is great innovation. But Mike, you can see that the people in Texas need to get back to work. Okay, they can do this if you comprehensively test everybody in the state and then isolate the people that are sick and give them treatment. And look at the 2 guys next to him. They own the sports teams. That's Mark Cuban, who owns the Dallas Mavericks, Jerry Jones, who owns the Dallas Cowboys. And I could suggest something a little bit different for them. Instead of paying for machines that would be given to the state of Texas, just pay for the machines and lend them to the state of Texas and keep the machines. Why? Because if you're Mark Cuban and you want to get 20,000 people back into your arena to watch a Dallas Mavericks basketball game, what if you could say, hey, you come to my basketball game and I'll guarantee you all 20,000 people in there do not have COVID. You could do this by testing them before they got into the arena. Okay? Same thing with Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. There is no need to postpone sports for another year. Yeah, if we want to take the passive approach and wait for this thing to naturally die down, that will be the case. But if you want to make things happen, and I think you guys are the type that want to make things happen, you can test this COVID so that it doesn't have any place to hide and so that your fans will be safe. Small states west of the Mississippi. What about Nebraska? Well, Nebraska is actually kind of lucky. I mean, they don't have to look, they don't have a whole lot of billionaires, but the one they got is pretty big, okay? Warren Buffett's got $80 billion net worth. Okay, I figure Nebraska needs 10,000 test machines, 45 million bucks. This wouldn't be even a tenth of 1% of what Warren Buffett is worth. I'm sure he could do this, write this check out in the next 10 minutes and get the people of Nebraska tested and 99.8% of them back to work within a week. So that's kind of what I was looking for west of the Mississippi. Okay, and I emphasize in that to start somewhere. You see, there are a couple states that don't have any billionaires: North Dakota, New Mexico, Alaska. Maybe Warren Buffett could take care of those guys. But I want to look at one state east of the Mississippi, okay, and that's New York. And that is almost 50% of the problem in the U.S., 50% of the cases, 50%, more than 50% of the deaths. Okay, the people in New York, particularly New York City, are just going through an absolute agonizing time period. So could they get some help? Well, New York has a lot of billionaires, but I'm just going to mention one because I know he cares. Why hasn't he given money to the state of New York to get test machines? And I figure for the 8 million people in New York City, you'd need 30,000 test machines. You could test everybody in 2 days. Okay, it costs $135 million, which again is more than my checking account, but not more than Mike Bloomberg's checking account. And he certainly knows the COVID crisis exists because Bloomberg News is talking about it every day. He cares about New York. I'm sure he cares about New York. I'm sure he would give New York 135 million worth of test machines. I mean, he was mayor of New York for 8 years. Okay, he's ready to serve as president of the United States. Certainly, he can serve the people of New York in their time of need by donating $135 million in ending the agony that New York is going through. Summarizing, comprehensive testing is the key to reopening the United States. Yes, we've got the Trump CDC plan, which is every 14 days, if your cases go down, you get to ease restrictions. That's good. What we need to do is combine it with comprehensive testing, and you'll get that 14 days a lot quicker, okay? What we need to do is use the comprehensive testing to identify the people that are sick. That's about 0.2% of the population, but we don't know which ones are sick is the problem. Okay, but with testing we would know, and then we can isolate them, treat them. But what that means is the other 99.8% can get back to work. They can go to restaurants, they can get on airplanes, okay, because we know we've got the sick people isolated. Now, when I first learned typing, it was this sentence that we used: now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country. And I'd sort of changed that a little bit. Now is the time for the billionaires to buy test machines for their states. And I've given some examples. I hope they will come through. My next video, I have a particular interest, is a flight jacket that I'm wearing. I was in flight test, and I have a particular fondness for all our airlines. I'm really devastated that they're basically closed down, and I want to get them open again. So that'll be the subject of my next video. Thank you for your attention, and stay healthy.